So we do Netivot Shalom על Torah, Sefer Bereshit, and Parashat. What's the Parashat? Vayeshev? Vayeshev. Good. Okay. It's a Hanukkah. First candle. Vayeshem et Yosef, Vayish Matzliach. So it's like, if you translate it, Vayi Hashem et Yosef, like Hashem is with Yosef or with Yosef, and he will become a very successful man. Right? ויהי השם את יוסף, ויהי איש מצליח, וירא אדוניו כי השם איתו, וכל אשר הוא עושה, השם מצליח בידו. And his master see that everything that he do is being successful. And Rashi explained why. כי השם איתו, שם שמיים שגור בפיו, he always said בעזרת השם. And the Rambam הביא מדרש, he bring a מדרש from Rabbi, שהיה מלחש ונכנס, מלחש ויוצא. So maybe he didn't say it out loud, he was whispering it. What did he whisper or keep repeating? שהיה חוזר תמיד, שיוויתי השם נגדי תמיד. He said, I see Hashem in front of me תמיד. שיוויתי, it's also from the word to compare, or not to equalize, but it's not just to see. It's more than that. So his master told him, pour me hot water, hot water. Cold water, cold water. Mild temperature, mild temperature. And his master thought that this is a witchcraft. So he told him, Teven ata machnis le'ofarayim, which means you bring witchcraft to Egypt. That's the source of witchcraft. Right? He thought that maybe Yosef is doing magics. So he said, until he saw the Shechina standing on him. And that's why it says, וירא אדוניו כי השם איתו. And this is what he see, that Hashem with him. And the Rabban explained, so how come he have the merit even to see the Shechina? She said, for the honor of Yosef, his master was enabled to see the Shechina. Whether if it was like in clear day, whether if it was a dream, whatever, maybe for a cloud, whatever, but he saw that the Shechina is with Yosef. And that was the level, the madriga of Yosef, that he was always cleaving to Hashem, and will never remove his thought from Hashem. לעולם לא יסיח דעתו מהשם יתברך. ולכן האיש מצליח, and therefore he was a very successful, כי Hashem with him. ועל כן, כל אשר הוא עושה, השם מצליח בידו. And everything he do, Hashem is helping him to succeed. כמו שמביא יסוד העבודה from the book, בשם המורה נבוכים, from the Rambam, he said, שמי שדבוק בהשם יתברך, אין שורים עליו דינים. Someone that is always cleaving to Hashem doesn't have judgments. And everything he do, Hashem is helping him to be successful, because he is with Hashem and Hashem is with him. And only when he stopped cleaving to Hashem, then Hashem remove his ashgacha from him. Then Hashem is not with him. Very scary. Because it says, שבעשב מחשבתו מהשם, even one thought that is not about Hashem, then he will be separated from Hashem, and Hashem separates from him. And then, חס וחלילה, and it says there in Hebrew, והוא אז מזומן לכל רע שאפשר שימצאו. And then he's like available for all the bad things that possibly can find him. And he also write more, that the Chachamim and the Chasidim, they were very careful, לקיים שיוויתי השם לנגדי תמיד. I don't know if you ever saw that quote, but many places have שיוויתי השם לנגדי, and many of the Sfaradic Sidurim, you have this quote, שיוויתי השם לנגדי תמיד, that I'm always looking at Hashem in front of me. And sometimes there is a kavana, you can always think about the letter, Yud K, Vav K, like imagine them the whole time. So they were very careful not to remove their thought from Hashem. And all the other the cases that Chas v'Chalila, something bad happened to the Chachamim and to the Nevi'im, was only when they were stopped a little bit from cleaving to Hashem. And that was the Medrega of Yosef, and the level of Gidusha and Tara, right, being holy and pure of Yosef. and because he was always cleaving to Hashem, and therefore everything that he was doing, he was succeeding. And it says that he said, okay, cleaving to Hashem. How is it possible? He said it's depending on the level of the Gedusha. And in Gedusha, basically, it's a separation, right? Kedusha, we can think about the mystical thing, or we can think about the simple technicality, which is separated yourself from the bad, separate from things that are not good. And because Yosef always behaved in that way, right? Yosef was always behaving in that way of Kedusha and Tahara in all these matter, the Gashmiut and spiritual, etc., all the physical need. He was never remove his thought from Hashem. And therefore he was cleaving to Hashem the whole time, which is not the same when somebody doesn't behave in Kedusha and is not separating himself in the Gashmiut, and he's stopping about thinking about Hashem, then he's not cleaving to Hashem. And it is if like you have a iron divider between him and Hashem. So he said, indeed, this level is a very high level, and it seems to be far away from us. How a Jew can actually get to that level that he will be always thinking about Hashem and never remove his thought from that. But he said, but there is a lower level or a smaller level in the sense of effort that we can fulfill. The same way it says from the Rav HaKadosh Mikalis, Zechutto Egan Lenu, on our the Chazal, where Chazal says, Masechet Chulin, Yodia Tzaro LaRabim veRabim Mokshem Alav Rachamim. So he should inform to the many about his problems, and many people will ask for mercy on him. So the Hebrew says, Yodia Tzaro LaRabim veRabim Mevakshim Alav Rachamim. So it should be, שהיה צריך לומר, רבים יבקשו עליו רחמים, right? That the many will ask for him. But what's the big inyan here? יודיע צערו לרבים, that he should be informing his sorrow, his problem or whatever, to the rabim, to the many, to the plural. She said, שכאשר יהודי דבוק לחברותא של רעי השם, when a Jew is cleaving to a group of Jews that are fearing Hashem, then by just doing that, he brings the rachamim on him. Because his tsa'ar, his sorrow, is because he have the judgment on him. Why? Because he stopped cleaving to Hashem. But when he is going with the congregation, with the manis, with the kehila, then for sure there is one that is cleaving to Hashem. So by cleaving to the kehila, being part of the kehila, you are again close to the person that is closer to Hashem. And by that, the judgment will be sweetened from the tzibur, because the tzibur are together. And therefore they said, Rabbi mevakshim alav rachamim, that many will ask mercy for him, because he's cleaving to the many of them. He said, and that was the maila of the Chasidim, that was their advantage, or that was the main thing that they were always makpid on, to have this congregating together, right? Itkashut lerav, connecting themselves to the Rav, and to the Chavruta, and to the Tzibur Yerei Hashem. Because even if individual is not really 100% on focus, thinking about Hashem, but then because he's part of the Tzibur, part of the congregation, then he's cleaving to Hashem. And especially in Shabbat Kodesh, our sages explain, right, that Knesset Yisrael ben Zuger, that each day have a mate, and Shabbat was asking Hashem, okay, so who is going to be my mate? There are no other days. So said, okay, Israel will be your mate. And then when we are getting together, going to shul, eating together, etc., that's actually our part or our side to be a mate with the Shabbat, with the Shabbos. Because the Shabbat itself, it's cleaving to Hashem. As it says, right? We said every time in the Kiddush and in Davening, right? Beni uben bnei Israel, oti leolam. Between me and bnei Israel, it's a sign forever that we should be cleaving to Hashem. And when we are not cleaving to Hashem during Shabbat Kodesh, it is like mechalel, right? What is mechalel? What is halal? Halal is like something empty, like a vacuum. So if we are not with Hashem, then there is emptiness. That's the literal translation of mechalel Shabbat. You make it empty. Not good. And therefore, the only advice for us is Knesset Israel. Knesset is from congregating together, kinus, that we should be together with the Jews, whether if it is davening, learning, going to shul, etc. And Maran Admor Baal Bet Avraham Zechroto Galenu Katav, so he wrote that in order for בכדי לשבת עם יהודים יחד בליל שבת קודש, צריך מסירות נפש. That we need the מסירות נפש in order for us to sit together with the Jews in night of Shabbos. Sometimes it's difficult, but we should do that. He said, by doing that, just living together, being with the tzibur, we're bringing ourselves the dvekut in Hashem Yitbarach. And that's why that was the level of Yosef. And we're going back to the same, the beginning of this short shiur, that Yosef was always mentioning Shem Hashem, not only mentioning Bezrat Hashem, but he was saying, Shiviti Hashem Nigdi Tamid, Shiviti Hashem Nigdi Tamid. You can even imagine the letter Yud Ke Vav Ke. Elokim is not, it's like more of judgment and strength. So Yud Ke Vav Ke is the name of Rachamim and love and kindness. So this is something we should maybe always thinking about, the Yud Ke Vav Ke. And because Yosef was doing that, then he was always thinking about Hashem, and therefore he was very successful in whatever he did. And his master, the husband of Potiphar, he had because of the honor of Yosef, he was able to see the Shekhinah and to understand that really that Yosef have the Shekhinah. And therefore he can even trust him, right? And let him be the master of the house except the wife. So I want to dedicate the shiur to the success of the IDF and whatever they do, all the law enforcement in Israel, and all the ones that are fighting the darkness, the terrorists, and for the refuah shlema of all the people that got injured and all the people that are sick. Thank you for listening. Chanukah Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was good.
Thank you.
Baruch Hashem, you got to have Hashem on your mind 24/7.